I'm Jim Dryer, and welcome to Workin' Wheels. Today we're going to be taking a look at the vehicle that clears our streets in snow events, the city's snow plow truck. All right, thanks for joining us today on Workin' Wheels. We're here with the street superintendent, Daryl Hample. Daryl, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, no problem, Jim. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. We're kind of here to talk today about the street plow. Daryl's going to let us know a little bit about the vehicle itself and how it works. So, can you tell me about the vehicle, some kind of the functions that it does here?
Well, this is just a standard dump truck during the summer, but in the wintertime we put a lot of components on it to help take care of the snow on the city streets and clear it off. When we walk up to the front, we can look at the main component we use to clear the streets.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the plow. Now tell me a little bit about this plow. I see a lot going on here. I see a lot of, looks like there's hydraulics. How is this controlled?
Well, there's controls inside the cab that control the plow, whether it goes left or right, up and down, and that's what all the hydraulics are for. It's a pretty heavy-duty plow for clearing all the roads we have in the city. We've got about 550 lane miles of streets that we clear snow off of in the wintertime. One of the main components, the plow blade edge up here on the bottom of the plow, we actually have some carbide-type blades that actually is a really high-strength steel that lasts a long time and keeps us from having to come into the shop or back to the facility to replace blades.
Excellent, excellent. Now, we get a lot of snow here in St. Charles. Will this clear a certain amount of snow, or is there a certain level of snow it just won't clear?
Well, it's a 10-foot wide plow, so we have to make a couple passes on the city streets. If we get ice, it doesn't really do too well on ice. It does snow really good, but the ice, that's what we have the salt on the back of the truck for.
Well, speaking of that, why don't we go down and take a look at the salt spreader, and you can kind of tell me how it works, what kind of salt you put in it. All right, now here we are towards the back of the vehicle, and we're kind of here to look at how the spreader works. Can you tell me a little about this, Daryl?
Well, back at our street facility near the salt dome, we scoop salt with the loader and we dump it in the bed of the truck. And inside of there's an auger that actually takes the salt and puts it out of the back, and we have a spinner on the back of the truck, and it spreads the salt out across the road. Along with the salt that we put out, it's just basically bulk road salt. We also have salt brine that we pre-wet all the salt with. We have little spray nozzles that as the salt comes out, it actually wets the salt, activates it, and makes it work faster and helps break the bond between the ice and snow and the pavement below it.
Excellent. So you guys can kind of get an early jump and attack it a little bit early before the snow even gets here.
That's correct, and that's what we try to be as proactive and get out there and try to keep the bond from forming between the snow and ice, and it makes the plowing that much easier. It peels off real nice.
And I heard this is a pretty high-tech truck. Now, is this all a computerized system? How does it know how much to put out?
We actually set the amount of pounds per lane mile of salt that we want to spread on the street, and we want to know how much liquid we put per ton of salt. It's all programmed into the truck, and it runs off the truck speed. So no matter how fast or slow the truck's running, it compensates and puts out the salt and the liquid based on the speed of the truck.
Wow, that sounds pretty high-tech. I had no idea that it had those kind of controls. Now, Daryl, can you tell me a little bit about the staffing? So if there is a snow event, can you maybe tell me how many workers you have and how many trucks you're running to clear our streets?
We actually have 24 snowplow trucks in our fleet. We have 19 dump trucks like this set up with snowplows, and we also have 5 smaller pickup trucks that we use to clear the cul-de-sacs and courts in the city.
Excellent, excellent. So you guys got a lot of people going then to clear the streets. Now I do know that residents, there are things that they can do when we do know that a snow event is coming. Can you possibly tell us something that they can do to kind of help the city?
Yeah, to make our job a lot easier, if the vehicles are off the road, if you have any possibility of moving your vehicles off the road, either in a garage or in a driveway, it'll just make it that much easier once we do plow snow. During the event, while the snow is falling and while the trucks are out, the best thing is to just give them their space and let them do their job.
That sounds great. That sounds great. I know anytime I see a plow come by, I don't want my car in the street and getting plowed in, because then you got to dig it out. Plus, it's not good for the workers. So everybody remember that when a snow event's coming, get those cars out of the street. And then also I'd like to touch on, you guys have the Snow Operations Center. There is a hotline residents can call if they have questions or concerns.
Yes, that's true. We have a hotline number you can call and get updates on the snow event and on the status of our operations. And I believe that's also going to be listed on the city's website. You can look there also.
Well, that sounds great. Daryl, I really appreciate you showing us about this, telling us about this truck. I'm sure everybody's going to see it out there very soon when we get some snow. So thank you very much, Daryl.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, we'll see you next time on Working Wheels.